Hello everybody, it is Shelby Thompson again, and welcome back to my Godzilla movie review series. And yeah, today, as I finally watched, we're gonna be taking a look at Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Yeah, is this movie good? Well, yeah, so I'm just gonna explain the history. So now, after Godzilla vs. Megalon, the person who I don't know his name, who made Gigan and Megalon vanished, and Shinichi Sekizawa came back and complained there aren't any monsters left. So special effects director, whoever his name is, decides to request him to make a Mechagodzilla, a robot version of Godzilla. This would be easier for Sekizawa and stuff. So basically, unlike the other Godzilla movies, right here, while the other Godzilla movies and this and that, here we got a Godzilla version to King Kong Escapes. And those of you who have never been a fan of Toho's movies or anything, who have never been an expert of Toho and stuff, may not be able to understand what I'm saying or talking about, but if you are and you remember Toho's King Kong movies, you guys know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so is this movie good? Well, let's just get started for the movie. I'm gonna try pacing this video so I don't take a long time editing the video. Maybe I took too long with the others because they were way too long, so I'm gonna try pacing this video. So with that said, without further ado, let's go ahead. Ape-like aliens, the Simians, invade Earth using a robotic duplicate of Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, to conquer the planet, but an Okinawa prophecy foretells help from King Caesar, leading to a team-up between the real Godzilla and the Guardian monster to defeat the metallic threat under the initial defeat. Yeah, but however, the aliens would later get defeated. Godzilla defeats Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla gets destroyed, while King Caesar goes back to his home, but then rocks fall down and then King Caesar dies. The island people, whoever they are, they say that the ancestors of the Izumi and everything and King Caesar may rest in peace. So we have some characters of this movie. I can't remember their names, but I do remember what they're spelling. I know, I don't know the names, but, yeah, I think I knew, I don't know, but I do know one is like, Sako, I don't know, and the other is like Akuko, but the island girl is Nami, I believe, and I don't know the other character. I can't remember the other characters' names. So, yeah, also another thing I forgot to mention, Toho decided to get Godzilla back on track once again, yeah, and just like what they did with Godzilla vs. Gigan Destroy All Monsters, but instead of making Godzilla like a child-friendly hero, they decided to make him a monster, just like in the other movies, and they decided to gear the movie a lot more to older audiences, and make the movie more mature. So, yeah. So, this movie, I think this movie is a good movie. But, is it really great? Is it as good as any other Godzilla movies? Well, let's go ahead. Let me talk about the good for this movie. Now, I think this movie has a really unique plot. Like, this movie is so unique about a robot version of Godzilla. Like, this was so amazing. Like, Mechagodzilla is very solid. I love Mechagodzilla, dude. Sorry guys, the battery died. But yeah, I think Mechagodzilla, he's very interesting. Like, I love Mechagodzilla. A robot version of Godzilla. That is just so amazing. A robot Godzilla. That's awesome. Godzilla fighting a robot copy of him. awesome. That is so amazing. Instead of fighting another kind of monster, how about you build a robot copy of him? Yeah, that is so interesting, dude. Like, that's awesome. Another thing what they do, I think they do a good job with making Mechagodzilla be like fake Godzilla. Yeah, fake Godzilla, he's basically Godzilla, but with Mechagodzilla's roar. And he's actually Mechagodzilla wearing Godzilla on him the whole time. That's what really makes the movie kind of really funny. But, yeah, and I think it's good to see Anguirus again. It's great seeing Anguirus have bigger roles in this film again. I like Godzilla in this movie and stuff. The Godzilla costume actually looks more better than how it did in Godzilla vs. Megalon. They gave the costume more angrier expressions. Yeah, that one makes him look more better. It makes him look less goofy and more better. Make him look like the 68 Godzilla. Also, we don't have Shinji Takagi playing Godzilla in this film. Instead, we have a different guy who I can't remember his name. In Zone Fighter, which Godzilla was, he was played by another different actor in that show, I believe. But yeah, but the Godzilla costume looks great in this film. It looks more charcoal, more darker, and more angrier. I really like Godzilla in this movie, and it's great to see him as an actual monster. It's great seeing him be Godzilla again, and not like a child-friendly superhero, no. And it's great that there's no children in this movie. That's really good. The human characters might be good, like, I think the characters are good characters, like, I think their acting is good. I think their acting is good at times, but other times I think they could be a little bit boring. I mean, come on, the other good Godzilla movies had this kind of problem. I think I like the aliens in this movie. Like, they're actually pretty good, though they're actually like space apes, like space gorillas, which is still a pretty bizarre idea, like just like with cockroaches. But you know, guys, however, let me get to the bad for this movie. Now, this movie is a good movie, but there are things that ruin the movie for me. One problem, this movie does have a unique plot about a robot copy of Godzilla. However, there's a subplot that's involving a lion god named King Caesar. A lion god. Now, earlier in the movie, when I was dealing with this problem, I was like, a lion god? That's interesting. But sadly, as the movie went on, I started to lose interest. King Caesar is not really good. Like, King Caesar, he's just way too fast. Like, he's way too fast. He seems way too human and a bit little lifeless. For a menacing kind of monster or anything, it still looks pretty ugly, and he still looks really dated. And he can't even do anything. He's kind of like Jet Jaguar. He just ends up being some bumbling fool before Godzilla would just come to help. Like, this is stupid. I mean, all King Caesar can do is just run and bump into the monster. Not do anything like karate or kung fu, like what he did in Godzilla Unleashed. It's much like Jet Jaguar. He's just a bumbling kung fu and karate fool who can't really attack the evil monster. Like, King Caesar is just really stupid. Like, and also, this King Caesar stuff, it's the same problem as the Jet Jaguar stuff in the previous film. While this is a movie about a Mechagodzilla, you waste time with King Caesar stuff. But seriously, this is a movie about a Mechagodzilla fighting Godzilla, not a movie about this. If this wasn't a Godzilla movie, this would have been an original film about King Caesar and this stuff. Yeah, seriously, and I don't like King Caesar. Like, he's just he can't even do anything. He really can't do anything. the monster fights are pretty good. I like the monster fights, but the monster fights are okay. But really, at times the monster fights are just really bad. Like in the fight where Anguirus is fighting fake Godzilla. Like, why Anguirus can't even really do anything? He can't really do anything. All he can do is just like run around or just let fake Godzilla throw him around before he breaks his jaw. Why can't Anguirus do anything? He did do this in like Godzilla vs. Gigan and Destroy All Monsters, which takes place after this movie and stuff. But seriously, come on! Like, Anguirus can't really do anything. The fight with Godzilla and Mechagodzilla and Fake Godzilla at the end, at the other hand, I think this is really good. Like, I think it's a really pretty good fight, you know? It's great seeing Mechagodzilla show up and reveal himself, and yeah. But the final battle, on the other hand, it's a good fight. It's a good fight with Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, but I think it's the King Caesar and stuff that really ruins the fight for me. Godzilla is supposed to protect King Caesar in this film, but they need to work together. You can't just let Godzilla help. The characters, maybe a little bit some boring stuff at times and everything. I think that is just okay. I think the other Godzilla movies had this problem, you know? But, yeah. The music by Masaru Sato, I think is just really so bad, it's so good. Like, right here, Masaru Sato made some, like, jazz stuff, like what Michiru Manabe did in the last movie. Here, it's like, really, the soundtrack is just too funky and too cheesy as a soundtrack of a Godzilla movie. And I just love it. Like, it's just so terrible, so awful, so good. It's just so awful, it's awesome. Like, the soundtrack is just, like, it's just freaking hilarious as a soundtrack. It's just actually really fun. I think the music would work better if it were, like, an actual pop cultural music. But for a film soundtrack, no, not at all. And this is the last movie that Masaru Sato would score. So yeah, it seems that Masaru Sato hasn't even made any interesting music compared to Akira Ifukube. So if there's anything I forgot to mention, yeah. So overall, that was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. So yeah. I wouldn't say it's better than Godzilla vs. Gigan or as good as that movie or the others like Ghidorah and Gojira. But I think this movie is a pretty good movie. It's a good movie, but it's not pretty good. Because there are some major flaws that I have with this movie. Like the King Caesar storyline is just so much filler to this Mechagodzilla and Godzilla storyline. Like, it's much like the Jet Jaguar stuff. Like, this Godzilla doesn't really have anything to do with this garbage other than protecting it or rescuing it. Like, seriously, this is stuff that shouldn't be in a Godzilla movie. It would be more interesting if it were original, but for Godzilla, it can't because it's just too much filler and it ruins what Godzilla's supposed to be and stuff. But I think what makes this movie good is the really solid plot, the really interesting of Mechagodzilla and stuff, but the King Caesar and that stuff, and the little bits of doll stuff and expositions and the everything, it just kind of really lets me down in the movie. And space gorillas as the main aliens is still a pretty bizarre idea, but at least it's anything, well, yeah. The music is just so bad, it's so good. And the costumes look really good, except for King Caesar's, but Mechagodzilla is really a fantastic antagonist kaiju. He's much like Gigan. Like, Mechagodzilla would be one of my favorite kaijus of the franchise. And yeah, so overall, that was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. As for my final rating of this movie, I am not going to give it, I'm not going to say it's a great movie, but you know, I think this is a good movie. So I'm going to say that this is the first Godzilla movie where I'm going to say it's good but not great. Yeah, it's good but not great. It's a genuinely solid movie, a really very interesting and exciting Godzilla movie. But it just has some major flaws that really ruin the movie for me. That really shouldn't be in the movie, like in that stuff. It does a really good job bringing back what Godzilla's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be for kids. Godzilla's not supposed to be goofy and child friendly. He's supposed to be ominous and a monster. But yeah, this movie is good but not great. Yeah, it's not a really great movie. It's because of the flaws. I think it's the King Caesar stuff and that other stuff and a little annoying acting that really ruins the movie for me. Yeah, but overall, yeah, it's good but not great. I don't think it will make it to my top 10, but yeah. So that was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. And yeah, now we have one more movie of the Showa era left, and that is Terror of Mechagodzilla. And then after that, we'll be finally done with the Showa era, and then we're gonna move on to the Heisei era. So yeah, take care everybody, have a nice time, goodbye.